right, we're live. What's up, Jared Small?
What's going on, Mateo? How you been?
Doing well, man. Doing well. You're in Costa Rica, right?
I am. Yeah. I've been here for the last, I think, like month or so. So it's been flying by, but I've really enjoyed it because I'm from Canada. So back home, it's quite the difference right now. Pretty fortunate to be here.
Absolutely, bro. Pura vida, pura vida. It's been exciting seeing your content, how you're traveling. You were in London, and I would just like to give the audience a bit background on you and your how you got to be in Costa Rica and traveling like this. Like, what's the background?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll do the little quick spark notes and everything because I think I don't want to get too carried away. I'm super passionate about my whole journey and whatnot,
Yeah.
but getting into IRL. So IRL, the IRL Experience, it's a community I started. It's been under a year so far, and we really focus on doing in-person experiences with like-minded people like me and you, Mateo, entrepreneurs, guys that want to travel, but also, work in their business and just overall live more of a fulfilling lifestyle. So how I got into really running my community, it really started back when I was in school. I went to like some university studying business, and I was actually past the halfway point of graduating. So it's a little bit of a unorthodox story of dropping out because normally people would drop out after their freshman year or so, but I actually stuck through it and past the halfway point. I sort of, I guess had this like inner call or whatever people call it of like waking up and realizing they wanted to do more with their lives and I didn't know where to start. I started to read some books. I saw people online make money, and I joined a bunch of like Discord servers or these school communities because I didn't know where else to find people that were on my wavelength that resonated with me. So I mean, it was okay. I met some cool people in these Discord communities, but how I saw it, it's like, dude, I don't want to be the guy that only have like these online friends. So I was sort of slowly moving on from hometown people that were holding me back.
Mhm.
And I'm like, dude, like I don't see anybody doing things in person or I can't find that. So why can't I be the catalyst for people to go out there, meet people in person, get to know each other and make money online and live more of a fulfilling life. So I decided to start my own community. And I was like, you know what? Let's not do Discord. Let's not do what everyone else is doing. Let's have our own platform, get mentors in there. Let's focus on providing the most value to people online. And then from there, slowly but surely transfer those digital connections like this to in person. And that's why I came up with the idea of the IRL experience.
That's a great way to do it, man, because that in and of itself is a filter. The type of person to make the effort to meet online, I mean, in person, that that type of person shares certain characteristics that you want in a friend, anyways. Like these are
Exactly.
doers, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why, I don't just let anybody join. I make sure I get to know them personally, not just about, how much money you make, these sort of things, but actually more in depth of your story. Like, what do you do on an average day? Are you somebody who's really like only on this entrepreneurial path to make the money? Or are they also wanting to be in good shape and other important factors of their lives? So that's what I think in this big entrepreneurial space, there's the entrepreneurs that are solely focused on generating the most amount of money possible, which
Mhm.
is awesome, but they sacrifice other pillars of their life in pursuit of that. And I think that's where I don't really resonate with.
Gotcha. Yeah, the more holistic process. I dig that.
Yeah,
So tell me a little
exactly.
bit about IRL in its infancy. Like, when was it started, and when did you have your first event?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I decided to do a different route of like building it up and getting people in there rather than like waiting until I had sort of massive audience or influence. I
Mhm.
decided to spend all summer last year just networking and like hopping on one-on-one calls with all these like-minded guys online. And then it got to a point where come September when I started to tease this idea of starting a community, all these people who knew who I was and actually had trust in what I was building, it was a no-brainer for them to join because I was also solving their problem as well. So I actually had like a meetup over the summer before we had the platform. Me and like 8 other guys, we flew over to Miami, had a cool meetup there just to really get things going. And then from there, I did another one in London because we have a lot of guys out there in London. So we did that in October. And then from there, did one pretty recently last month for New Year's back in Miami.
Gotcha, dude. That's amazing. You already got 3 events going. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's just the goal, to like just to do as many things in person. Of course, as we go, there'll be more structure, more value, like more speakers coming out, different ideas. But the real purpose is just to bring people together. And I always tell people, like, as cool as the yacht is and the dinners and these sort of things, as meeting people in person, the things that really you take away is just the conversations, the
Yeah.
simple things that you actually don't record on camera.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Not everything is content. Well, the best content is in person, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, a content is a focal, an important aspect of it, but we don't base it around like this content trip. We base it around a chance just to go out there outside your comfort zone, grow together, mastermind, and then yeah, do content as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned masterminds and then speakers. What speakers have you had, and what tends to be like the topic of conversation?
So that's actually something we're sort of brainstorming going forward, because right now we're having mentors in the platform hopping on live calls with us, like weekly live calls,
Mhm.
where they actually, share what they've learned, and they coach different areas. So like one guy is a fitness coach, so he'll coach the fitness side of things. So
Mhm.
eventually going forward, probably next meetup, we'd have one of these mentors come out and have a presentation. They're a bit older, so they have more wisdom, more life experience to share, and yeah, just really having this ecosystem of people providing value to each other. So rather than getting some random guy to come out, everybody is in IRL.
Yeah.
It's not transactional. It's not, hey, here you go, here's the money. They're just wanting to be a part of this movement and spreading positivity.
Love that. Love that. How do you touched on this a little bit, but how do you see the IRL experience affects and how it differentiates from the average communities out there and the average person out there?
Yeah, well, I mean, the obvious answer is the in-person side of things, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's in the name, of course. So right away, people are like, "Yo, like they're actually doing something in person," because you don't see that as much with
Mhm.
all these communities online. But honestly, I think what differentiates us is my story, being the founder, and this huge vision I have. Most communities you see, there's a hierarchy sort of thing, right? You have like a Iman Gotzi, a Luke Belmar at the top, which is
Mhm.
great, and people want to emulate what they're doing and get up to their level. But for me, I'm just one of the guys. I'm being authentic. I'm sharing my journey, and I'm at this level where everyone's sort of at as well, which is cool because I kind of see myself also as a member. So I'm just as in it with the guys, hopping on the calls, really engaging myself in them, because I think I've seen past communities. I'm not going to mention names, but you see the founder being a part of it, immersed in it, but then maybe slowly pivoting towards something else, hiring a team. But like, I want to be in this for the long haul. I have a 5 to 10 year visions with this. So we're just scraping the surface right now.
Yeah, man. The level of involvement is such a key differentiator. And you can definitely tell like someone who has high engagement is in there all the time versus, and again, I'm not going to name any names, but I've been in communities where people just hire like a moderator, which is cool. Like sometimes you need that. But where the founder, where the face of all the copy, of all the marketing who's been selling you is completely absent. And then you kind of have like a half experience there. But so I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah. Like, I think my goal is to become one with IRL. Like, I am IRL in a way, which sounds a bit weird because, it is a community and all of that. But like, I don't see myself navigating towards different businesses, maybe in the future, but like, this is like my baby, I guess. And
Yeah.
this is like my ride or die. Like, I dropped out of school to do this
Right.
and make zero income last summer because I wanted to really build it up. And I really just focused on how could I provide the most value to people.
Gotcha. I'll get to your platform in a second because I think you showed me a screen share once on one of our calls how you were building it. It looks really cool. But
Yeah.
before I forget, you've been doing something really interesting on your content, which is the street interviews where you're going around interviewing people. You just
Yeah.
did it in Costa Rica. I saw the new ones you're doing. And then I was
Yeah.
surprised to see Sneeko. You managed to talk to Sneeko. How'd that happen?
Yeah. That was hilarious. That's a funny story. So after that interview with Sneeko, I got all these, of course, messages from friends and people online being like, "Yo, did you like collaborate with Sneeko? Like, did you hit him up before? Are you guys boys?" And I don't have those connections just yet. It was funny because, we had a group. So it's during the meetup, about 8 of us. We split up into 2 groups. 4 of us went to do interviews with other people. Then we wanted to sort of come back together after. But then during the interviews, we saw them across the street. So we just met up again. And then we're all together. One of the boys was like, he turned around and he's like, "Yo, that's Nico right there, walking towards us on his own, right? Like normally you'd have like bodyguards or something like that. Just walking casually towards us, perfect timing. Stopped him in his tracks, said what's up, super nice, super friendly, and just had a nice chat with him on camera and also off camera. So that was insanely valuable for sure.
Yeah, no, you can definitely tell he had a lot of insightful things to say. You ask really good questions, which is props to you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, interviews I'm just doing on the side, like for fun. I just see like why not? It's fun. You meet people, especially when you're going to new places. Great networking opportunity, good content, and just another way to produce good content.
Yeah, it's very human. It's very on brand for IRL, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So also the platform. What made you
Yeah,
choose your own platform instead of school, instead of Discord, Telegram?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not actually our own, like we didn't like design or code it or anything.
Mm.
We're using a third party, so it's called Mighty Networks. I told
Yep.
you how it went is that, right away my experiences with Discord and school weren't the best. Like they're okay. School's pretty good, but school's more of an educational platform. They focus on courses, on learning, right? So for us, we don't have even a course yet. We're actually going to have one in the future, but it's really about connecting, networking, getting to know people and whatnot. And I wanted that, I don't know, that real authentic experience where you could customize things how you want. You don't end up being just another Discord server, which I think that happens a lot. People don't check it, people lose focus or lose interest in all these things. So Mighty was the best platform out there where we could sort of do what I want and align the best with my vision.
Gotcha. Were you involved in other communities on that platform, or how'd you
On
find
my
out?
honestly, I just spent a while brainstorming and just researching every single platform out there that like was comparable to Discord
Mhm.
and just weighed out the pros and cons from there.
Nice, man. Yeah, no, it's definitely neat. And I have one of my really good friends, shout out Charlie, who is in IRL, and he only speaks very highly of it. He loves it. And he was telling me that you guys have organized these challenges and you guys are competing for, I
Yeah,
don't know what the prize is, but I love the environment, the camaraderie you've built in there. What are these challenges?
yeah. So actually, we had one challenge which was like it was called a 30 for 30 challenge. We did a few months ago where you just do some habits every day, and then kind of like 75 hard,
Yeah.
right? So that was a similar challenge we did, but this time around, I wanted to incentivize the guys and have something that's on like very intrinsic reward, like intrinsically rewarding rather than just like throwing money at them.
Mhm.
So I also wanted to find a way to bring people together. So we did something called it was a small tribe challenge. So it was groups of 4 guys randomly picked in a small tribe, and it'd be a point system. So they'd have to do different activities individually to get points for their tribe. And the tribe with the most amount of points by the 30 days would essentially win. And this challenge, we actually went pretty big, and the first place tribe ended up getting free accommodation to any event of their choice in 2024. Second place tribe got a free excursion also to any event. So it's funny you asked that actually, because the challenge literally just ended last night. So and also it's even more funny because Charlie's group ended up winning.
Let's go. Are you serious? Let's go.
Yeah, Charlie was a beast, bro. Like we had one challenge, one weekly challenge. You know the Sally Up challenge? Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like you've seen like in the army, like bring Sally up, bring Sally
Oh
down,
yeah,
the
yeah.
push-up challenge. So they did that, and Charlie killed it, and it was just cool to all of them, toss their videos in, document it all, hop on the calls. Like there's different ways to add points. So like fitness challenge was one, hopping on a call with all the guys, sharing a win, sharing a resource, all these different ways to get everybody involved.
That's so smart, man. You gamified it, but then you also like incentivized them to do social things, like the videos aspect. Dude, I have a Discord community, as well, and there is no videos in there. I've never thought of that. That is forcing someone to get on camera and share. like automatic. It's
Yeah.
as close as you can do it from like this, like a video call. It's pretty. That's really smart.
Yeah, I mean, you want to humanize it as much as you can, because at the end of the day, nothing about it really is human in a way, because it's like all online, you know.
Right.
But you want to find these aspects to bring people together, be themselves, talk on the camera, not just hide away in front of their keyboard, because that's usually how it is. So, to gamify, like you said, that was something that was always on my mind, because leading a community yourself, you'll start to notice that whether it's your community, other communities, though, there's this point where it sort of dies off, and
Mhm.
it's kind of inevitable, but it depends how low you go, so you want to sort of balance the lack of engagement and all that. And I think challenges are the best way to just get people to come together and be active in the community.
Brilliant. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Incorporate challenges. Anyone out there who's building their community, take that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
I got a question for you. Since you're the IRL person and you're also using tools online, like we understand the internet is a tool, like AI is a tool, whatever, but human is king, in person is king. I was wondering what your thoughts are on the whole Apple Vision and like the Meta Quest and all that, because augmented reality is kind of interesting because you're getting bits of both. Like you're still walking through your house and you just have like screens pop up. I ask because one of my friends, he said, Mateo, I'm just going to get rid of my laptop. He has infinite screens now. He walks throughout his house. He's standing. He's not longer sitting. And everything is cloud-based. All his apps, everything he uses, Zapier, all this stuff he just has in an office in his house, which is just a room, and every wall in his room has a different like function. So if he's going to do his workflows here, he's going to do his emails over there, and instead of zooming in, he just walks towards the wall. So it's kind of interesting. He got rid of his laptop. It's a new world, but I just want to get your thoughts on it since you're the IRL person.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as the IRL person, I wouldn't resonate with that the most, because it's not IRL.
Right.
But like honestly, that's pretty cool. You said that with the being in an office, because like at the end of the day, that versus being on your computer and locked in and on your phone, like it's not that much different if you think about it.
Right.
But and you see these videos of people on the subway system and walking. I saw some videos and like 10, 12 million views, and you could tell people are curious. I mean, it's definitely getting a lot of buzz, both good and bad,
Mhm.
controversy and all that. But it's almost like inevitable at some point. That'll be the new thing. That'll be the new iPhone, the new Mac, whatever you want to say. So I'm not going to be one of those people to like constantly hate on things and get upset with things that are outside of my control,
Yeah.
right? So at the end of the day, you're going to have to adapt eventually. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. No, that's very well said. But I'm totally with you too. Like there's no replacement for physical presence, right?
Yeah, that's why, when I was brainstorming business ventures to pursue when I was still in school, not only was this the best because, aligned with me, I was super passionate about it, but I see it as being AI proof, because you can't replicate community, you can't replicate the human touch.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't care like what comes out. People are going to want this regardless of whatever trend or AI thing comes out.
Absolutely. Exactly. There's no replacement. What is
Yeah.
something that you found to be surprising about community building that you didn't expect at first? Like as your community developed, you're like, wow, I didn't expect that.
Good question. I guess how it's like a real full-time job, like you think, oh, you run a community, it's la di da di da, you say what's up to the boys and all that, but I'm catching myself in a constant pursuit of refining things, making things better. And it's like yeah, I mean, it's just like any other, I guess, entrepreneurial business you decide to pursue, right? You're constantly
Mhm.
working. But I did think I'd have more sort of time to myself, which of course I can make that time, but I just feel like I always need to be on my toes, whether it's with Instagram, whether it's with, complete different like back end side of things. I think honestly the business model of being running community, it's not the best solopreneur business model in my opinion, because there's just so much things to do and you
Yeah.
don't want to drive yourself too crazy. And I think that's why I want to sort of dip my toes in different things like video editing and different things like that, That
Mhm.
way I get familiar with it and I could easily just sort of hand off that job to somebody else in the near future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just where your focus goes, energy flows. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like the best learning experience, you know? Like
Yeah,
obviously failure doesn't enter my mind ever, but let's just say in some random world where this doesn't work out, like I have the best experience ever. Sales, marketing, content creation, you know, like the list goes on.
absolutely. No, that's exactly well said, bro. You need to put on all the hats, which is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, speaking more on the business model side, what model are you using now? Is it like, do you have cohorts? Is it rolling admissions? And why'd you decide to do that?
Yeah, good question. So like in terms of new people coming in and all of that, we had launches. So we did like one big launch in September, one it came out, and then another launch in the new year here. But actually, again, this is like perfect timing, honestly, because we're just starting to now open it up indefinitely. So how it would work, you'd hop on a one-on-one call with me. You basically just go through a screening process, asking you questions, and then from there, a new feature that we're going to add in is like that would be step one or round one of passing that process with me. And then you'd
Mhm.
hop on a call with all the boys, and all the boys would come together on the call with you on there, get to know you a little bit more. And then from there, we come to a general consensus if you're a good fit. So it's a little bit intimidating, but I think it's the best way to make sure that we, you know, maintain this level of quality in there and, you know, real good guys inside the community.
Yeah, like a tribal council. I dig it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think it's a good idea, and the goal is to be able to get to probably about 60 members by maybe the end of the month, or you know, next 4 to 6 weeks, I'd say. Right now we're at like 35 or 40.
Nice, bro. Yeah, and they're all enthusiastic. Every other IRL member I see on my feed posting about it, you guys are high energy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, yeah.
So, do all members have to be entrepreneurs, or what are the metrics you're looking for
Good
in a member?
question. So I mean, I'm slowly starting to restructure it in the future of like being able to still cater towards so many different levels of entrepreneurs or people that are maybe entrepreneur. What is it called? Like I've heard that
Yeah,
term, a
entrepreneurs. Yeah,
entrepreneur.
yeah.
Because you know, I guess still I'm catering towards those entrepreneurs in a way. So I really want to get everybody involved, people
Mhm.
that have the shared mindset, because that was the beginning of it. It was like, I don't care how much money you're making online. If you're somebody who is a go-getter, taking action, really wants to improve their life, and I see that and they're documenting it and all these sort of things, then I want you to be a part of it. You have good energy. These sort of things are all important. But going forward, we're going to shift towards, I guess, still having everyone together, but in a way separating it in terms of the people that are at higher levels that may not get as much value from being with people that are maybe just starting their journey.
Yeah, yeah. I know you were in Tribe too.
No, no, I was never in Tribe.
Oh, really?
I was one of those many dudes that you think are in Tribe, but are just well connected to the guys in Tribe, and yeah,
That's funny. Yeah. Well, fooled me. Well, Tribe had that similar aspect where there were tiers. There's a free tier, or not a free tier, but there's like a lower tier and then like a more premium tier. And yeah, they broke it up basically if you were crushing it online, honestly.
yeah. So like the thing is, I don't want it to be only about how much money you make online. I think that would be definitely a key like indicator of the level you're at.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's something I'm navigating or dabbling with is the tiers in the future. But having it a way where we're all still a part of the same community, because with communities, I'm sure you know, like Tribe's a great example of you know, not hating on it, but like getting to a point where it's getting pretty big, like
Yeah.
hundreds of people. And I think the most important part is to still have systems in place where you're still able to connect to people easily. And look, try maybe gearing towards, I think, like an educational platform, I believe, where, you know, the people are still in there, but you got to go out of your way to find them or to meet them, which is still awesome. But for me, I really want to make it easy for everybody to connect, get to know each other, and just feel welcomed.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's great. Is the conversation part of the your Mighty. What was your platform called?
Mighty Networks, yeah.
Mighty Networks. Does that have like a conversation tab? Or is that where most conversations are held?
Yeah, I mean, Mighty's sort of like our own little mini social media platform in a way, you know, because you're just posting your life, you're posting a win, you're posting a resource. So there's the DMs chat where you can just one-on-one message guys, make group chats. There's a feed section, so similar to like Instagram, and it's only getting bigger. So it's pretty cool to get things more and more active, more and more engaging.
That's awesome. That's great. So
Yeah.
you shared the beginning of IRL, and then you showed a little bit about your vision or where you see it's going. Where do you think right now, because the phrase typically is like hire, you like delegate your weaknesses. And since you've been wearing all these hats, I'm just curious, like, what is one of the skills that you've strengthened the most? Like, oh, I didn't realize, like, I'm really good at creating marketing funnels, or I'm really good at doing this. Like, what did you like pleasantly surprise yourself is like your newfound strength,
My newfound strength. I mean,
like online business?
honestly, yeah, like when I first started, I had imposter syndrome of just thinking that I didn't have any like key strength to apply to business.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, I had experience in sales and these sort of things of that nature, but I never thought I was that good at anything. And then as I was doing this, I think honestly, I mean, it may sound like an obvious answer, but it's just networking. I
Mhm.
think that's the most important skill that I have that is a key leverage point, you know, whether you want to be an IRL or just like if you want to meet me, I could open up my network to you and just get people talking, coming together, you know. So like that's something that's been huge for me of oh, I meet somebody, let's say they're in Bali, I know somebody else in Bali, okay, boom, create an Instagram group chat, they connect, and then they know me as the guy that brought them together. So something simple as that has been huge for me.
Yeah, bro. And that is actually, I know it's pretty natural to you, but that is an actual like monetizable skill. Like people make money doing that, being the glue guy, charging a finder's fee, which I know you probably don't do, but like people do that. That is a massive skill.
Yeah, and it's like you see people maybe want to connect people. You know, like you hop on a call and be like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. Here, here's his Instagram. Go reach out to him." Which is cool, but that's just the first step. I
Right.
like to go out of my way and actually create that Instagram group chat, make him not feel maybe awkward because a lot of people like are a little bit awkward or timid of like shooting out an Instagram DM, which that was actually me also at first. You know, like I don't want to, message this random dude on Instagram. Like I used to find that a bit weird, but now I just do it all the time, and it's an easy way to meet people.
Yeah, it really is. And Instagram, I don't know how you feel about the other social media platforms, but I feel like Instagram is still so king in that it is basically your digital resume. If you have a strong enough, and this is Arlen talks about this a lot, it's if you take care of your digital reputation, it's so much easier to like really nail those interactions when someone presents you or introduces you to someone else, or if you want to do like a cold reach out to someone you want to connect to. If you did your homework to clean up your digital presence and you're very clear on who you are, what you do, who you serve, people are going to open up those messages much more often, and you're going to get a lot more connections.
100%, and like that's something that I only realized maybe like last summer or something because I didn't want to be this guy of like I'm like I don't want to have this curated feed and making it feel like it's like inauthentic in a way.
Yeah.
But you do realize how like perception is so important, like these sort of biases, authority bias, and these sort of things, and yeah, I think it's also like a digital business card in a way,
Yeah.
a digital business card, digital resume, whatever you want to say, because yeah, you're always selling people on who you are and what you do, whether it's somebody in business or maybe a girl you meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that digital business card. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So Instagram's only getting bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah. No, it's a solid platform.
Yeah.
Um, So, Jared, I usually ask this from guests, and I like to ask on the spot so people can't prepare. But it's
Yeah.
if you were to meet anyone, a fictional character, anyone, dead or alive, and someone who is real, so non-fictional, who would those two people be? Who would you like to meet? Someone fictional and someone non-fictional?
Oh, geez. That is an interesting on the spot question. I'm honestly not a big like I don't know why I was thinking to like movies and stuff, but I guess I'll think like fictional is hard. Non-fictional could be a bit easier because it's like it's more
Yeah.
realistic, non-fictional. What you said, just have like a dinner with or talk to.
Yeah, just like an afternoon with, yeah.
Oh God. Um, Non-fictional. I really want to speak to actually a guy I mentioned earlier in the podcast, Luke Belmar.
Yeah.
Really want to. I know it's obviously like he's directly related to what I'm doing because he also has, Capital Club, his community.
Yep.
I really would like to pick his brain because I see him, or he probably, maybe, hopefully he would see me in him, like as his older self navigating the space. And I know he's a little bit of a different journey, like getting into crypto and all that, but I think I would love to just have a dinner with him, pick his brain, and just, yeah, have a high level conversation. So I mean, I think that's something that will actually come into fruition, just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And yeah, just positioning myself in a way where he's accessible to me through connections, through opportunities, and all that stuff.
Absolutely, bro. That's a great answer. And you know this since you were traveling, you're building community, how small the world actually is. Like all these
Yeah.
circles were so interconnected.
Yeah, you think it's so crazy until you meet them. Like Sneeko, sure, I stumbled upon him, but again, Miami's actually not even that big. Like,
Mhm.
we were seeing people multiple times around the city. So I think it's a lot about positioning yourself where you are and following your intuition, not to get super spiritual right now, but like a lot of it just comes down to, if you follow your intuition, things will fall into place for you.
Yeah,
And I do believe a lot in like synchronicities, these sort of things that actually do happen if you pay attention, you're aware of the path you're going.
absolutely. And you know what? You said synchronicities and you know him. Do you know Will Coomer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met in Portugal at a tribe event, and then we met up again in Madrid, and we actually did a sit-down podcast in Madrid. And he told me one of the most life-changing exercises I've ever done, which is to get a little journal, tiny one, something that fits in your pocket, and make that your synchronicity journal. So like I'm a pretty spiritual person too. I would notice synchronicities and be like, oh, cool, that's interesting. Yes. Okay, awesome. It wasn't until I started writing them down that two things would happen. One, I would notice more, and B, like I would have more volume of them. Like I would actually like see more and also like feel more, right?
Mm.
Because at first it was pretty surface level. I'd notice a few, but it wasn't until I actually would write them down that I would see a lot more, and then as a consequence, invite more into my life, which is
That's
really,
interesting. I
yeah,
like that. Because, well, the thing about synchronicities is that they're all around us, right?
yeah,
Whether we're paying attention or not.
exactly, dude. So a synchronicity journal. Shout out to Will Coomer.
Yeah,
Best thing ever.
that's awesome. But and I need to answer that the second part of the question. Fictional person. Um, could it be like somebody who's like a role, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's a role. That was a dumb question. um, you know who Michael Schofield is?
Michael Schofield.
Did you
No.
watch the show Prison Break?
Was he the one with the buzz cut, like the main character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, him. Because I think like that was actually my favorite show growing up. I watched that show like must have been like 2 or 3 times, and he was just a motherfucking genius. And I think like I talking to him and yeah, being on that level would be insane. Like having those conversations. So I'll go with Michael Schofield.
Well, you're the like digital Michael Schofield, right? You're breaking out of the
Yeah,
modern matrix.
I gotta get those tattoos on my body.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jared, this has been a great chat. I know we had one conversation before. This is our second one, both digital. We're gonna have to do an in-person one soon. So
Yeah. In person, 100%. Where are you right now? Are you in Spain?
I'm in DC now.
Oh, you're in DC. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and do you have any plans on heading to Europe maybe in the summer?
Yeah, the plan is so this is the first time I'm saying this out loud digitally, but I was supposed to move to Madrid officially. I was there for 6 months, right? And in Europe having fun and everything. But then I realized upon actually, you're talking about building networks. I found the people I want to network with in Madrid, like the exact families, same people, like went to the cafes, had all the dinner parties. Like I know who I'm supposed to mingle with, and I met them. The thing that we were talking about before the call, like there's a season of earning, season of learning. I realized that what I truly want is to actually end up in Madrid. And so a lot of these kids are still grinding. They're like doing a lot of like heavy stuff. And I'm over here with my American dollars trying to relax and like somewhat retire. Right. And I just felt like it was not right. So I came back to the States for Christmas, and I'm here and I'm building certain things, and I'm actually focusing on certain things because I want to end up in Madrid. If I go to Madrid right now, it'd be kind of like retiring to Hawaii early. Like I have so much I should build and do while I'm in the States before I head over there. So I'll be going for the summer, but I'm not going to be signing a long-term lease. Like the plan is. Yeah.
So Madrid's more for the chilling. Like, do you see yourself building a lot there, or?
Yeah, to be honest, like I'm 28, right? And so I honestly would just want to build a family. Like my resources, thank God, like I'm okay, I'm stable. I just really want to start a family, like build that. And so like I've thought about a lot of things. Like my first language is Spanish. Like I think of Spanish. If you tell me to count people like a head count, it's all Spanish, right? So I think like that and many other reasons I feel like I am gonna go to Spain. And so it's actually gonna be like the long-term home. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
bro, you got to come to Costa Rica also, because that Spanish will take you a long way here.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. How's your Spanish?
Horrible. But I want to learn because, well, I kind of know French. I studied French growing up, and I think if I could get back into that French speaking mentality, then I could kind of make my way into Spanish, because I do also want to immerse myself more in Spanish cultures around the world, like Spain, here, South America. I want to go all over South America. So I think having that Spanish would be huge.
Absolutely, bro. Would love to accompany you on those trips.
Yeah.
You know, Costa Rica, there's a huge like Bitcoin and like digital nomad community there.
Yeah, I don't know about, I guess maybe Bitcoin, but digital nomads for sure. There's this one spot in particular. I'm actually gonna head there, I think, next week, as they're also ready, called Santa Teresa. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's there's this one spot of everybody in their 20s, 30s, and they're just everybody's digital nomad lifestyle, I guess, and very spiritual, good energy, and probably some Bitcoin people in there as well.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what IRL is all about, and making it happen.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So we get it off here, and maybe next pod, fuck the digital pods, we're doing one in person in Madrid.
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. Awesome, Jared. Appreciate the chat. How can people reach you and find IRL?
So IRL, just the IRL Experience. Main platforms is Instagram and YouTube. We're gonna go pretty hard on YouTube coming up. Just did a video that the one with Sneeko that did pretty well, which is cool. And then personal account, I'm also gonna do content on there as well. Jared Small _, on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Jared. We'll be chatting in person soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the time, Mateo.
Awesome, brother. Peace.
Peace out.